Hello and welcome to the Not Alone podcast. I'm Sam Fredrickson.
And I'm Jason Moitoso.
And today we're going to be talking about something a little spooky. I was listening to a show called Astonishing Legends, which is a very similar show, and I thought, you know what? Like, I know that a lot of work goes into this. I know it's really hard, but I think this is what I want to do. I think that I want to finally work on something and achieve a dream after dropping out of college twice and just have something on my checklist that I can say I did. It's been twice. The podcast itself is a weekly show that we put out. It focuses primarily on history that has a paranormal aspect to it. We do a lot of cryptids, a lot of scary, spooky creatures like wolfmen, which I don't know if you've heard of. They're terrifying.
But they're not werewolves.
But they're not werewolves. Werewolves don't exist.
But
bipedal wolves, who may or may not be phasing in and out of this third dimension, do exist. The podcast got started, unfortunately, as a joke. Yeah, I had been thinking about doing a podcast for about 5 years, ever since I first listened to Welcome to Night Vale, which is my all-time favorite number one jam. The first question that has to be answered is who's going to be my co-host, because I know that I'm not interesting enough to host a show by myself.
Right, and why me?
Because the whole thing was a joke. Here. And I was like, hey man, you wanna start a podcast with me? The main basis of the podcast is essentially what is out there that can't be explained. And sometimes it can be, sometimes it just takes some digging to get there. But what are things that I, as the crazy UFO conspiracy guy, have always pointed to, saying, how do you explain that? How do you explain that? Now with the podcast, we are explaining a bit of it. There's always an unknown factor. I don't think we've ever done anything that's been completely cut and dry. It's pretty much just going out and researching and just saying, trying to look for anything that smells a little fishy, anything that's a little weird, and then just diving into it and trying to explain it, trying to figure out as much as we can about it.
And I try to look at more the scientific end. How can we prove certain things if it's theoretically possible for what's happened to happen? And I love telling Sam he's wrong.
Yes, that is really what it comes down to. Yeah. So we started the podcast on February 19th was our first show, Ghosts and Apparitions.
Man, it's so long ago.
I know, man. It feels like forever. That month we got like 400 downloads.
I think we got like 3 something.
No, we got 4
really?
something. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Almost every single download from probably the first month and a half was all friends and family. And I remember when we got our first comment, some person I had never heard of commented on the episode and said, like, this is great, I love your show, and I died. I was so happy. For June, sitting right now, we're at 56,791. So we have a total of 78,456 in the last 4.5 months.
There's a ton that we have to talk about. Of course, there's the old penitentiary. Mm-hmm. There's also, the hotel down the street that I can't pronounce the name for. It's the We've got essentially a haunted hotel that is now residential. So hey, that's gonna be a joy. Yep. Where apparently like 4 different ghosts haunt it.
Yep.
And the old penitentiary is famously haunted as well.
Yeah.
But weirdly enough, there's supposed to be like ghost echoes. And then we've got like little tiny cannibal people too. There's little tiny cannibals. Not to mention
they're living in the Owyhees. They're coming for you.
Apparently. No, they're not.
They are.
They're not.
They are. We're going to try to keep it fairly light for it. It's going to be a little different from our traditional episodes because we're not going to be really focusing too much on debunking as much as we are just going to be talking about telling...
If you say so.
Okay. We are on every platform that I have checked so far. We're, of course, on iTunes. We're on Stitcher, we're on Google Play, we're on iHeartRadio, we're on TuneIn. All you have to do is search for Not Alone. You'll see a dope picture that my sister made, our logo. If you want to reach out, if you want to see what we're doing, we're on Twitter at Not Alone Pod. We're on Facebook at Not Alone Pod, or actually Not Alone Podcast. You just search for it there. And also in your nightmares. No, that's not true.
No, that's terrifying,
Yeah,
Sam. Thanks.
That's not true.
Now,
We try not to be as spooky. We try to just be fun.
Yeah.
But we're not fun people.
Wow. Speak for yourself, man.